Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we unwrap the secrets hidden within corporate filings. And today we're diving into Telomir Pharmaceuticals to see if they're truly on the path to a cure or just another pill to swallow. Before we get into the nitty gritty, if you love getting these nonsense breakdowns of company reports and want to stay ahead of the curve, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ding the notification bell. Also, don't forget to join our thriving community on Discord. It's linked in the description below, and it is the perfect place to discuss these insights with fellow investors. Alright, let's get straight to it. Telomir Pharmaceuticals has just dropped some news that could be a game changer for them, and potentially for patients. They've announced positive results from safety studies for their main drug candidate called Telomir -1. Now, what does this even mean for the average person or investor? Think of it as the final hurdle before a drug can even be tested on humans. These were called IND-enabling GLP safety studies, which is a mouthful but basically means they've put Telomir -1 through some rigorous tests to make sure it's not going to do more harm than good. The date of this announcement was the 17th of December 2025, and the results they're talking about are from toxicology and safety studies. Toxicology is just a fancy word for studying how poisonous or harmful a substance is, and when they talk about GLP, it stands for good laboratory practice. This is a quality system to make sure these studies are done reliably and consistently. So essentially, they've conducted thorough safety checks on Telomir -1. What kind of checks did they do? They looked at how Telomir -1 affects the heart and breathing, if it causes skin sensitivity to light, and what happens with repeated doses. They used a mix of lab tests and dishes and tests on real animals like rats and dogs. This whole process is part of getting ready to submit what is called an Investigational New Drug Application, or IND, to the regulators. That is the official green light to start testing in people. And the big takeaway here is that Telomir -1 was generally well tolerated. That means it didn't cause major problems. They didn't see any negative side effects or anything that would stop them from giving higher doses in the future. The few things they did see were minor, went away on their own, and weren't considered harmful. This is super important because it means the drug didn't show any red flags that would prevent them from moving forward. To put it simply, nothing they found in these extensive safety studies suggests Telomir -1 is too dangerous to try in humans. This is a massive step forward for any drug developer. Let's dig a little deeper into the animal studies. In dogs, which are often used because their biology is similar to humans, in some ways they specifically looked at vital signs. Things like blood pressure, heart rate, and body temperature. And guess what? Telomir -1 didn't mess with any of those. That is reassuring. They also observed that when the drug was given orally, meaning by mouth, it was consistently absorbed by the body and reached its target. This systemic exposure is just a way of saying the drug is getting into the bloodstream and circulating throughout the body as intended. This consistent absorption is key for making sure the drug works effectively in people. Beyond just safety, Telomir isn't just sitting on its hands. They're actively running other animal studies to see how Telomir -1 might work for different diseases, especially cancer and age-related conditions like triple-negative breast cancer. This indicates they have a broad vision for this drug's potential applications. They're also getting ready to share their findings with the wider scientific community. They're preparing papers for publication and planning to present at important cancer conferences in 2026. This is good practice for building credibility and informing other researchers about their work. So, what is the timeline based on these positive safety results? Telomir Pharmaceuticals is aiming to submit their IND application to the regulatory authorities in the first 3 months of 2026. If all goes well, they hope to start testing Telomir -1 in people sometime in the first half of 2026. That's a pretty aggressive but exciting timeline. And the report is signed off by Erez Aminov, the Chief Executive Officer. This signals that the company's leadership is confident and behind these developments. Now, let's zoom out and get a feel for what this really means. Telomir Pharmaceuticals is still a relatively early stage company. They're not selling products yet. They're in the crucial research and development phase. The success of Telomir -1 is absolutely vital for their future. These positive safety results are a significant de-risking event. It means they've cleared a major hurdle and are closer to potentially getting a drug to market. However, it is still a long road. Drug development is notoriously expensive and fraught with challenges. Even if a drug looks safe in early studies, it can fail in later human trials due to lack of effectiveness or unexpected side effects. The biggest risk for Telomir right now is precisely that clinical trial risk. The transition from animal studies to human trials is where many promising drugs falter. Another risk is regulatory approval. Even if Telomir -1 proves safe and effective in humans, getting the official nod from regulatory bodies like the FDA can be a lengthy and complex process. On the flip side, the opportunity here is substantial. If telomere -1 proves to be a safe and effective treatment for cancer or age-related diseases, it could address significant unmet medical needs. This would not only be a huge win for patients, but could also generate significant revenue and value for the company. Triple-negative breast cancer, for example, is a particularly aggressive form of the disease with limited treatment options, so a breakthrough in that area would be monumental. In conclusion, Telomir Pharmaceuticals has taken a really important step forward with these favorable safety results for telomere -1. It's a sign of progress and reduces some of the immediate development risk. However, investors need to remember that the most challenging and expensive phases of drug development, the human clinical trials, are still ahead. The company's direction seems focused on advancing this promising candidate, and the potential upside is high, but so is the inherent risk in the biotech sector. It will be critical to watch their progress in those first in-human studies in 2026. Alright, that is our breakdown of Telomir Pharmaceuticals' latest announcement. What is your take on these developments and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments below if this analysis was valuable. Hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives into the corporate world. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description for more discussions. Thanks for watching. See you next time.